Hey, what's up? Welcome back. It's JR at Steady. Today we are installing cabinet hardware throughout this whole house. We're in the final stretch of a punch out on this full renovation. Come along as I talk through why we picked the hardware we picked and how we installed it. Let's go. All right, let me show you first what I'm using today to install these. Today I've got the Kreg cabinet jig. Not my favorite for every application. You're going to hear me talk through what those are and are not as we work with this today, but it is great for certain things. It's great for quick, speedy work. The only thing I don't like about this one is that there's not 2 points of reference, and I'll show you that in a second, but it's super, super simple to use. Essentially, you can do pull style handles as well as knobs on here, and we're going to do both of those today, and we'll talk through why we chose what we chose. What you would do first, let's find a handle. Here's a handle. You want to line up the handle with the width of how far the holes go apart on the pull, which is doop, right there. And then you set that and you don't touch it again until you're ready to go to knobs. Pretty cool. That never has to change. Then all we're doing is figuring out where we want these holes to fall, on the door or on the drawer. Now we're doing pulls on the doors today in the kitchen only. So pulls are going here. We chose to do pulls only in the kitchen one. Knobs are cheaper, so we're gonna do pulls in here to kind of dress it up a little bit and then knobs everywhere else. We're also matching metal in here, so gold on gold. Bathrooms will have black on black except for the primary. I'm told by the people that do this every day from a design standpoint that you can mismatch metals. I've just never been great at it, so I kind of stick with what I know. Now there's a point where too much is too much on a color, and so you just kind of have to weigh that out for yourself. But we went with this particular pull. Let's open it. We'll use my special scissors. This gold pull, again, is going to go on the doors like that. That's pretty against that green. That's the style we went with. Only because when I went in to buy, these were $2.98 per. The ones I wanted were like $6 a piece. I thought, you know, let's save a little bit of money, shall we? We're actually going to go through this whole rehab budget after this is finished and break down the numbers for you, so get ready for that. The next thing to talk about really is where do you put the handle and the knobs on the doors? Let's talk handles first. Industry experts say come 2 inches off this bottom rail and land on the stile. And then you want to go right in the middle. These are 2 1/4 wide, so I want to go right in the middle. 2 inches puts me about right there. Then we've already got the width set, right, for here. So I want to take this as my reference point on the back. This will go on the stile. I'll loosen this up. I'll set this perfect in just a second. Loosen this up to find the center of the stile, and then I need to make sure this hole hits at 2 inches off of here. Now what I'm going to do, because this only has one reference point, I'm going to go get a combination square so that I can set this off the bottom and make sure it's the same all the way across. Ideally, you would want to have a jig that has 2 reference points, one coming this way, one coming this way, so you can just speed, hit it and go. I didn't have one of those with me today. This is all I had, so we're going to make it work. This is real life. We're showing you how it works. Let me go grab a second reference point. I'll be right back. All right, we have decided 2 inches. Got that. What did I say? Was it 2 1/4? Perfect. All right, cool. 1 1/8 will be our dead center on these stiles. So I need this to be at 1 1/8, which it is in 1/8 inch measurements. That's awesome. All right, so let's set this jig up to do 1 1/8 off the stile. Should be dead center. That's 1 1/8. That's 1 1/8. They're close enough. We will leave it right there. So let's say, just for giggles, I'm gonna come on the back side here so I can make a little mark just to check. It's better to go ahead and check and recheck right here. So let's call that 1 1/8. Yep, okay. I like that. Only other reference point we have to get now, and you're gonna go, well, JR, why are you need a new tape measure, JR? Yeah, I probably do. And it's got a bit of a bend to it. So I need to be starting my hole at 2 inches up, which is, oh, can't see it right there. We need to come over 1/8 so I can see that. And then up to, actually that'll show me. Let me just do it right here. So I need this to line up. I gotta come a little further over, don't I? Look at that. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. And going, Gerald, why is it taking you so long? I don't know, man. Sometimes it is like that. So that right there is right at 2 inches. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this guy to be my reference. So now I can set this and then we're good to go. Let's figure out what size drill bit we need. Yep, we'll get the depth there. All right, live on camera, first one, here we go. So reference, that one's in there. Oops, it slid on me. This is where, you know, what's that called? This is where a, clamp. That's where a clamp comes in handy. Whew. That one took a while to get there. They give you several sizes because you don't know if you're going through false fronts, 2x, who knows. Oops, thank you. Does make a mess. It's a little bit of blowout when you're doing this. It's kind of part of the process. You can apply some tape to the back, sometimes it'll help, or if you can drill it from both sides, that's the best way to do it. I don't have that luxury today because of not having the reference jig that I need. It's a little loud. That's in there, it's good. Hey Matt, I'll start recording. Screw heads are pretty big, so should cover most of that up. Let's loosen that just a little. It can be a little finicky. Love that. One gold handle and one mess. All right, so now and I know this is probably obvious, but you don't want to put the handles up here. Vertically challenged can't get to them. You gotta put them down here. So we'll come back through after all of this and do our final punch out with a little bit of touch-up paint. I like it. One down. A whole lot more to go. But now that I've set that handle, sorry, I didn't finish that thought. Now that I've set the handle size on here, I don't have to adjust this again until I'm ready to do knobs. And so it behooves me not to cross up. I should just do all the handles and then be done. And that's kind of what I wanted to do anyway, was do all the handles. Seems like it'd be a little easier. And now we know too, from a decision-making standpoint, if the game is efficiency, we just determined that on all of these cabinets are all the same width. It comes with 2 sets of screws. I just need this screw. So I can take those bigger ones and throw them out of the way. That way I'm not having to make so many decisions. Give it a little encouragement. So what I should have too, I think I did 2 shorter handles on that one up there. Nope. Good. Thing's got a little bit of, to help that one out just a little bit. If you widen that hole just a little, gives you enough play to, and these things are not always perfect. Perfect. Love it. So here's another way you can just to see. So if that was there, dead center, this would have been touching there. So, all right, one more on this side. So again, what I'm doing is I'm seating that against the bottom, and I'm putting some pressure with my thumb. And I want to move it. Just being real careful, and we'll punch through. It's always nice to have a little tote with you. Like this. Of course, you clip your tape measure and stuff to it, but it's also nice to be able to just throw your trash in while you're working. It's good to have a little trash bucket. I don't have my vacuum inside at the moment, so watch this. Just keep that. Kind of clean up as we go. Actually, I don't want this to be my trash bucket. Yes, I do. I'm going to put these over here. Make up your mind, JR. Hey, about to start recording. Carrying the case walnut handle trapper today. Had that knife a long time, remember? Lots of decisions. Big screws, don't need them. It's got a little bit of, you know, before we even have to fight this, let's just. A little bit of a tilt to it, but we can straighten that up, I think. That means I wasn't holding the jig as straight as I should have been. Whoops. I wouldn't do it that way if I were you. I would turn that drill down a little bit if it were me. Okay. 3 down. 3 down. I think we man, you missed it. I put a drill bit through my finger. So I need to doctor that up. I do have legit Band-Aids, but I think I'm gonna make one. Looks like I got most of the bleeding stopped. My granddad used to say, well, that smarts. That smarts. That smarts. Johnny Crowell. Oh, that case knife that I showed earlier? Bought that with him on a trip to, something tells me it was Gatlinburg. It was Gatlinburg in mid-July. What's that? Boy named Sue. That's what that was. All right, I'm back today putting in some more hardware here. Remember day one, I was using this guy, and I mentioned there was a different jig that I liked better for drawer fronts. I've got that today. I've actually got a brand new one, so I'm gonna actually unbox this while we're here. We're gonna look at it together, see what we think. I'll show you the differences in this, and then we'll start installing hardware. All right, this is the True Position tool brand. It's a little pricey, but maybe let's get an angle where we can see me and what we're doing. I feel like people like to see the whole thing. Are you going to be able to see enough? Let's hope so. All right, let's open it up. Ooh, they got a Festool in the picture. Fancy. We bought the Max, I think, which has these extra lengths. All right, cool. You're getting a cold start here. That wrench can stay there. So we have something and something and something else. So this takes probably this. Probably, that's what you want to hear. This is probably right. So what's going to happen today is we will be referencing off of this, and then we'll pull this guy. We'll need a larger, just going to be that one. I'm actually going to take this off. So we'll need to put this on. Wait. Super slick packaging. Okay, this is our extra. Yes. All right, I think we definitely should read the instructions. This is kind of one of those measure twice, cut once deals. Long pull and shelf pin extensions. All right, rapid center extension. I think that's what I need. Let us look. I only want to do drawer front today. Hey, Matt, start recording. I would like to do it with the extension, actually. All right, so this will, oh yeah, this will do hinges, which is really cool. Drilling hinge plate holes. Rapid center extension. Yeah, this is what I want. I want to be able to reference side and front the right way. Cool, so this says I would take this off. You have got the wrong mechanism. Seems like that. I'm going to go back and look at the tape for where this, how this came out of here. I have no idea. Well, we have done it now. We have done it now. Okay, went underneath. All right, so this, we'll have this guy go on like this. And then I think we're going to install this. Oh, we're getting somewhere. I don't guess it matters. What matters is this, which, how do they have it? They have it, yeah, pinned down. Okay. So it's going to be something to this effect, right? All right, what I don't like is that it's not sitting flush. So does this help it on a shaker style? Does one need to have this on here regardless if we use it? Maybe, let's see. Let's just see if that keeps it. You'll see what I mean in a second. All right, assembly is easy. Just read the instructions. I mean, you're getting a whole lot of me right now just thinking through this. No, it doesn't really do what I was thinking it would do. Man, I want this to be. We're just going to have to be uber careful. Just kind of call it what it is. All right, so we're cruising. We're cruising here. All right, let's go through the big differences real quick. So first we use this Kreg jig. Remember we talked about that. It's got one point of reference. So you're either going, if I was phrasing you out, either if I'm doing pulls on or knobs on the door, I'm going to come off the side most likely and reference the distance from the side and then just measure up and set. And if I'm doing on a drawer front, I would probably use this coming off the top or the bottom to find center, and then I would have to use my tape to measure left to right. Now with this, a lot of cool stuff going on. According to the instructions, you can use this for pulls, knobs, shelf pins, and hinges. There's probably more things. Anything that you can measure and drill a hole, this looks like it would do it. The beauty of this is I now have 2 points of reference. So if I have, like in this room, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drawer fronts that are all the same width and height. All I have to do is set this for the height, set this for the width, see, positive stop. This goes on the end, this goes on the top. I just set it in place, boom, I can drill my hole. Let's, I'm gonna show you on one of these drawer fronts what I'm talking about. Okay, so with this guy, I would figure out where my height needed to be, like this. And notice it's got play on both sides, so you got to turn it around and line it up. This is a perfectly fine jig. Like, this is fine. I did all the pulls and stuff with this one. What I like about this one is in a room where you have a lot of the same dimensions, you get, now I don't have it set yet, but you get this reference, so it can't boom, and this one, and it's the same every time, no matter what. Now here's the only thing that I wish this had, and it might. I wish that it had something to go behind here on these shaker drawer fronts that would not allow any play as it goes back and forth. That would be sweet. But it doesn't, and that just means we have to be careful, JR. You just got to be careful. Now it's got some other neat things in here that I have not gotten to yet. I see a collar for a drill bit. I see some tips for something. That's for alignment of some sort. Allen key. So This is a sweet little setup. We're gonna go ahead and proceed with measuring this out. I'm gonna also make sure that I have all the right dimensions before I start setting it. Like this one, it would probably behoove me to just use the Kreg because there's nothing else this size in the house that I'm aware of. Stand by, let me find the best method for that. All right, now I'm just trying to get my setup right. I'm just gonna, this first one is gonna be a little trial and error. 14 3/8, right there. I'm gonna go ahead and just make my marks too in the drawer. I can erase. All right, there's a 14 3/8. JR, why don't you have your knee pad today? Well, back of my truck's frozen shut. Can't get to it. Wish I had it. I'm gonna be on my knees a little bit today, and we had icy weather last night. My tailgate won't come open. I don't have a heat gun. Or I do, but it's also inside the truck. So we are winning this morning. Ow. All right, 14 3/8, and then let's also mark 3. I'm gonna show you one thing I haven't quite figured out yet. I would normally have watched a YouTube video on this, but I did not. So that's pretty much where our hole should be. There's not really a reference point on the side, so I'm just trying to line it up best I can. It's kind of an eyeball right there. I should be able to see my mark in there, and I cannot. I'm not really hitting 3. Let's try something real quick. I saw one of these little marking pens in here. I'm gonna see what that might do for me. See if it does what I think it does. Nah, of course not. Why would it? Makes too much sense. So it looks like this needs to go up just a smidge. What's a smidge, you say? So that should have us in line. Of course, JR, it kind of depends on what angle you're getting at. I mean, it's close. The other thing we're trying to measure now is, which maybe I should measure it from the back. 14 3/8. Nope. 14 3/8 needs to go a little bit this way. Which again, for this, is just a little overkill because see, I mean, we're close. We're about to tick off. So if one wanted to be in it, you'd be right there. I mean, nonetheless, it's still worth doing this, even with just, obviously this thing wins when you can batch them, but even if you just got one hole, it makes it easier than having to hold your mouth just right. Only thing I'm not sold on is the height at the moment. I'm not sold on that. Let's make sure we got that at, is that 3? No. Where'd that mark go? That's a little easier. Trying to lose a little eyesight here. It's just crazy. All right, well that's why, JR. You didn't really have it. So I'm going to crow's foot there. Put the I'll put the pica pencil on right there. Hey Meta. Hey Meta, start recording. All right, so what we should have now, we should have a winner at halfway. And we should have a winner up and down. Yeah, that's it. Now, if you want to test it, I'm so weird about measuring everything from different angles. 14 3/8. Man, it's on there. All right, so now, here's the money shot. Only thing that I had a little trouble with was, again, I didn't read the instructions. Like, this may be your point to go read the instructions. But if you got to make sure, if we're using this as our reference, this 0 has got to be lined up with this 0 for measuring. Remember, I'm just doing knobs. I don't know what it would be for pulls. We're not doing pulls today, so I'm not going to even talk about that. All right, let's get a hole drilled through. Let's not drill through our finger today, JR. Make it all the way through, barely. Okay. See what that looks like. Looks pretty good. This will have a gold knob. I'm going to shut this for the time being so that we don't mess it up. Oh, y'all know what I don't have? I don't have my trash bucket. All right. Hope I don't have to. Good, we don't have to adjust any of those screws. All right, I like that right there. I'll come by and hand tighten these at the end probably.